Do I drink or do I say?
Dude! Oh my god.
This year I made about...
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go through the list.
The last question that was ever asked when we did this was...
Did you? Yes, I did, by the way. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I have been actually losing weight, and it's been kind of nice. I've run into a lot of people that say they can see the weight difference from when they've last seen me, especially in like person when I go to LA, because a lot of people see me like 2 months at a time, and then they see me and they're like, yeah, you can see the difference. It's kind of cool. You guys can't notice because, you know, it's on camera, so it is what it is. But I also always wear baggy t-shirts because, you know, I'm not really a fan of all that other stuff.
All right, next.
Could you beat Bradley Martin in a street fight? Keep in mind he's 220. No. This is such a waste of a question. This is your first question. Could I beat Bradley Martin in a street fight? No, I could not do that. I would die, all right? He's 260 actually. Well, then even more so, no, I would literally die, okay? The state that I'm moving to is still Texas, if I'm keeping it a buck. The reason why, I know a lot of people are speculating LA, but let me explain. The reason why I'm like speculating so that people can be like, oh, where am I moving to? Is because I don't obviously want people to know where I'm moving, but you're gonna find out anyway. But here's the thing. I am very anti-moving to LA right now. I'm actually surprised a lot of people would want me to move to LA because after everything happened in LA, if I'm gonna be real, like real as I can, yo, like I know the cops out there are very stressed out by a lot, but I learned a lot about self-defense laws and gun laws specifically in LA because if I'm moving there, I wanted to know. And in doing so, I have found that I do not like living in LA. I was inching towards the idea that in a year, I'd probably have to move out there. And I was kind of scared that that was ever gonna have to come because I have so many friends out back here. But then all that changed. And I said, oh, fuck no. Republican Cinna. No! Do you know what the worst part? Okay, we're gonna sidebar. Can I talk about that for a second? I'm not Republican Cinna. I have always been generally a left-leaning individual. Like most of my politics are always left-leaning and have always been. They've always been more like, you know, pro human rights, all that stuff. And the only time I found myself in a crazy situation is when I was recently dealing with a lot of self-defense laws, okay, in California. And I was like, maybe I should get some self-defense stuff, you know, and up my ante. And in doing so, I found that Texas, you know, in the moment when I really needed to be able to possibly stand my ground, really does support stand your ground. And I said, damn, okay, like this low-key, they kind of cooked on that law. But you know, then I will say that they did kind of lose me a little bit because one guy did try to sell me like a random gun without any type of checks. And he was like, yeah, you can just come buy this like gun off me if you want. It's my friend's. And it's like, it was like a Turkish something gun. And I talked to somebody who's like I was talking to law enforcement and they said, do not buy that gun. They said, do not buy that gun. Stay away from that guy. But anybody else, sure. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I like to be able to protect myself, and LA kind of showed me they're a little bit more difficult with that. So it is what it is. Okay, next. Why does Rage say you know what you did and you ruined his life, but he can't say it on the internet? It will ruin your personal image.
You know, she knows why. She gonna keep playing dumb, but she knows why. She ruined my fucking life. Cinna ruined my life.
Oh my God. Can I set the record straight? If I drink on this, it makes me look crazy. But if I tell you, is it breaking code? You know what? Fuck it. I'ma say it. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'ma say it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Rage says, oh, Cinna knows what she did. Da, 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 da. Do you guys remember when in turn I said I have dirt on Rage? I want you guys to know that for a long time, this has been brought up to me, even privately to friends who are like, what is your beef with Rage? Like, are you guys actually fighting? Do you not like each other? You want to know what my dirt on Rage is? I'm gonna be dead ass. Rage is nice in DMs, okay? He ain't say shit. He still calls me a torta from time to time, okay? My only dirt on him is that he's nice to me. He's been nice in DMs before, and like when something bad happened, like the thing happened in LA, he like, you know, or not the thing happened in LA, it was like something else. He like reached out to be a homie. He's actually a normal dude, okay? Exposed. There you go. He's a little weaselly fucking liar, because he knows that he's just been calling me a bitch for no reason and it's all a front and he didn't want to look bad in front of Ray. I'm gonna say it. But guess what? We're playing games with Ray supposedly in the next few days. And I'd love for him to give a reason as to why I'm such a bad person, because he can't do it. And I'm gonna say my dirt on him is he's a fake demon, okay? Actually, that's not true. He has said some pretty mean things. But he can be nice. That's my only expose. I will say, Rage did send me a Torta Instagram. Doesn't message me out at all, okay? For a long time. Out of the blue, sends me a Torta Instagram reel. And then silence. So he's not entirely a fake demon. He says some nice things, but he does send me a lot of mean things. I just realized he called me Torteezy. Whatever. Next question. Would you run the Sysadon backbone Pokey instead? Probably no, but it's because I'd want to do something that's original with me and her. I think running back the Sysadon was its own thing. It had its own branding. I think doing that again, but with somebody else, makes Valky Ray a guest in people's eyes. And that is not fair to Ray, because Ray was not a guest on the Sysadon. She was literally 50% of it with me. All right, next. What kind of parasocial ass question is this, bro? I would not marry any of them, okay? They are my friends, and they're very good friends, and I think they would say the same about me, okay? So, you know, stop, except for Lacey, who Lacey will probably delusionally say that he has already dated me, which he is not, okay? But you know, they're all my friends. I am not putting any of them in that situation, and they're not doing it to me, except for Lacey, because Lacey is a freak. That's Lacey. Next question. Do I drink or do I say? Streamers don't have salaries? I did just find out what I made this year. I can tell you. Fuck, do I just take the L and just drink, or do I tell you? You know what? I feel like I'm very good with my money. I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful. I can say. I'm actually very proud of myself. Oh fuck, do I say? Nah, fuck it, fuck. Do I say? I just don't want a thread on it. I know it's gonna be a thread. This year, if you guys know, I had a lot of stuff that went on, and I started making more money midway through the year. You know, shout out Agent, shout out Chain Gang. I think they made me a lot more in the normie space, because before I was on the Pogger side, and like, you know, those are my boys. So till, you know, the day I die, Agent's always a homie. And like, I got in my bag this year, and I was on my grind earlier in the year too. I did stuff with Ray, you know, I did a bunch of stuff. And so, this year I made about 500K. I know. Obviously you have to deduct tax from that. That's it. Damn, you're broke. Okay. Why is everybody saying that's it? All right, go fuck yourselves. I get it. Jason made that during one day in the subathon. All right, buddy. But you know, I'm over here by myself. I was very proud of that. Okay. I was very proud. And, you know, I'm trying to save all that money because I would really like to someday be able to buy my sister a house and be able to buy my dad a car. And I would like to do all that. So I want to say I'm very thankful and very blessed. Okay, I'm very blessed. I've been doing a lot and I've been on my grind. And I don't want anybody to ever think I take it for granted. I do a lot to try to give back to like my family and my friends. And like, you know, the people around me and make sure that they're all good. And because of that salary, I was able to hire Waj originally when Waj lost his job. And like, Waj was gonna go not work in the industry, and I was able to hire him because of that. So thank you to all you guys. Because like little things like that you guys don't see behind the scenes are things that I'm able to do. And like from there, like, you know, look at Waj now. Like Waj, I'm so glad he never quit the industry because he's fucking killing it. And so it's little things like that that like, you know, that salary I'm very thankful for. Ew, way to ruin a clip with a soft fucking moment. You know what I mean? Holy shit. Everybody's saying Trump. You can't give a cop-out answer, bro. He's not a streamer. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not answering. Because, you know why? It's because I've realized that people clip things that I say a lot of time now. And I didn't know how much it would happen to me until it started happening to me. And so now I'm just kind of over it, bro. Fuck you. Light work freebie. Nice try. Can I say, I think it would be something that you guys wouldn't even expect. Lacey? I mean, Lacey's an obvious one. That's a cop-out answer. Lacey's obvious. The only few that I can name, I've had such brief interactions with that I'm giving them the credit that I think they were just having a bad day. That's not, I'm about to dodge fully because I'm not gonna answer this. I'm telling you right now, I'm keeping it a stack. I'm not gonna answer it. Here you go. Why can't you be honest with that question? It's not about being honest though. I just said, I think, because if I say that somebody is bitchy, what is that gonna do? It's gonna make a 10,000 upvote hate thread. Somebody's gonna get harassed by a bunch of viewers saying Cinna called you a bitch. And I said, that's not worth it. You know what I mean? Why would I do that to somebody? I'm not gonna do that. I'm good. I've been drama free. I'll remain drama free. Cheers, bitch. Nice try. Oh God. Oh my God. Can I drink milk? I brought it upstairs. I can, right? No. Why can I not? That is cheating. Literally, it still burns. How is it cheating? Okay. My mouth is like on fucking fire right now. Wait. Wait, what kind of question is this? What face member do you think you differ from the most politically? Do they even talk about politics, like, ever? I don't know. Like, which one of them is a Trump supporter? Are any of them Trump supporters? I have no fucking idea. Banks is? Well, then probably Banks. But, like, you know, I've met Banks before. He's very nice. I have nothing negative to say about that man. He's very, very nice to me. I'm just not personally a Trump supporter. So, yeah, if Lacey's a Republican, then probably Lacey, too. What does it take to take you out on a date? Always had a crush on you, but I ain't famous or rich. Brother. No, I think I'm gonna get a brain aneurysm right here. You don't need to be famous or rich to get a date with a woman in general, okay? If you think you have to be that, then you need to do some self-reflection. If you have goals in life and you're working to improve yourself, you can normally get a girl, men, in the chat. I'm just gonna be real. Anybody who's saying nah, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it a stack in the nicest way possible. You're insecure. That's all it is. Don't get me wrong. I think that in both categories, and it goes both ways with men and women and with women and men, okay? It goes back and forth. Obviously, a lot of people will meet somebody who is rich or famous, and then they want to be with them more, right? I think that's very, like, something that happens between both men and women. Men see famous women, they want them more. Women see famous men, they want them more. That's like a normal thing, okay? That's very normal in the society. However, if you think that the only way you can get a girl is to be rich or to be famous, you're a fucking idiot. I'm just telling you, you're insecure. Go improve yourself. If you find yourself working towards your goals, having a goal, and working towards that to be a better version of yourself, you don't have to be rich and you don't have to be famous. A lot of women will find that attractive. They will. Because anybody who has goals is instantly attractive. Now, if you just sit there and say, woe is me, I'm not famous and I'm not rich, well then yeah, people probably don't find you attractive because you're just complaining. You know what I mean? That's just the truth. Tell us something about Extra Emily you have never told before. That monster under her bed is not fake, it's real, okay? Everybody thinks it's a fake story. I actually thought she was lying and I thought it was a fake thing until I looked under the bed and I couldn't believe that it's actually there, okay? We knew. That's the only thing I have. There you go.
Okay, on the right side.
This?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it is large. But
Right.
like
It's nothing crazy.
it's real. We're not doing a bit. I didn't know it was real. Other than that, I have nothing. Most controversial thing I've ever seen a streamer say off camera. Dude, it actually blew my mind, okay? I want to clarify, I was not in a private setting when this happened. I was around a lot of people. Someone was talking about something with like them having like some sort of discourse within, you know, like a small like community or whatever, okay? And like it was like a discourse between them and someone else, okay? To clarify. And in this situation, they called the other group of individuals the freaking F-slur, okay? Publicly, the F-slur. And I was like, brother, huh? Okay, and that's crazy. Don't say that's it. I'm not a fan of that word, okay? That word is crazy. And I was like, that's pretty wild to say in like a public setting. Like in general, you shouldn't say it, obviously, you know what I mean? And like, it was just one of those things where normally I hear a lot of people say that like, they're like, oh, I've said that in my past. And that's what they say, right? It's like, oh, well, I was saying that in like 2015 or whatever. But to hear it in 2025 used straight up was pretty crazy. And I just kind of was like, that's crazy. And I just left the convo. Like I was like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I don't wanna hear that. It's not a me thing. It wasn't it. And it was pretty crazy. Okay, oh my god, my stomach is hurting really bad. Next question. Do you regret collabing with Agent so much after you got shipped? No, I do not. I regret the shipping because that sucked that it happened, but I made a good friend regardless, and I'm happy that our friendship has been able to still exist beyond that, because he is a very good friend. And for the millionth time in the world, it was not a clip farm when I said babe or whatever. I literally stutter all the time, and I was trying to say 2 words and they combined and everybody blew it out of proportion, which was the most annoying thing ever. And it actually, I think, like pissed me off so much that I almost like wanted to leave the marathon because I was so upset about it, because it made me so mad, because everybody knows that I stutter, but people who don't know that I stutter then would literally like blow it out of proportion, and I was like, I can't be bothered. You know what I mean? Next question. What is the most amount of money you've received from a sponsor? I want you to know that I screamed when I got this sponsor. I was so thankful. It was 80K. 80 bones, 80,000 bones. I've never seen a number like that again though, to clarify. And I was very, very, very thankful. That was a big one. I remember when I got this, there was like a scheduling conflict with something else. And I think it was my agency at the time or something else was like, hey, like, do you think that you could do this? Because if you can't, we shouldn't do it. And I said, no. If my dad ever found out that I turned down $80,000, he would be like, bitch, have you lost your motherfucking mind? So I said, I will do it. I will crawl to the ends of this earth if I have to for that amount of money. Are you, that's damn near a doctor's salary, okay? So I am going to take it, and I took it. Have you ever had a whoops, I said that on stream moment? What happened? Yes! Oh, this one's bad. This one's bad. This one's really, really, really fucking bad. This one's so bad. I want to preface by saying I am half black. I was raised by the black side of my family, okay? I want to preface by saying this, okay? I never had like you know how people have like their Call of Duty logs and everything like that? I never had that arc. Okay, never had it. So for me, I've never had a phase where I was like saying, you know, the crazy gamer words to anybody. I didn't do that, okay? I never did that. Thank you. Okay, I never did any of that. And so one day when I first started streaming, I was trying to say the G-O-O-N word, okay? And I accidentally said the C word, but I've never heard that word before, okay? I had never heard that word before, okay? And in the context that I was saying it, everybody knew that I wasn't saying, that I didn't know what I was saying, if that makes sense, okay? Everybody knew. They were like, I think you're using the wrong word, all right? And so on stream, I was like explaining the story, and somebody was like, I don't think you know what word you're using, like in chat. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I was like, what do you think I'm using? And they were like, you're saying something that's like offensive. And I was like, no, I'm not. It means this. And they're like, no, it doesn't, Cinna. And I said, what are you talking about? Like, I was so sure. Okay, you guys know how I get. I was so sure that I was right that I Googled the word on stream. I straight up was so confident. I went tab here, typed it in Google live. And in real time, okay, you see my face be so confident and then go to like, and I instantly end stream, delete all the clips, delete VODs, okay? And then I come back and I'm like crying. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. Like, I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, it was very obvious. Like, all of them were like, yeah, it's very obvious you didn't know because of like what I was saying it, like the context I was saying it in. But they were like, girl, like, we know you didn't know, but we're glad we told you because I just didn't know. So I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was really, really bad. It was really bad. And that's the end of the series, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's been a great time. Here we go. We're gonna drink this Carolina Reaper hot sauce and call it a day. It's a good time and a great day. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful, wonderful time. And I just love that we could all be here for this collective unit. And you know, and it's great. Cheers. Okay, that's a lot. That's like a lot. It's deep in the bread. Okay. Oh my god, it's so strong. I can't even do it. Oh, I feel it. Oh my god. Okay. Can I spit it out? Mm-mm.